Welcome, friends, family, ghosts and ghouls. I'm Bob. She's
Christine.
And we're on
The Occult Class podcast.
What episode is this?
15.
Nailed it. Damn, what an opening.
Yes.
This week, I have a spooky subject and the continuation of that heck of a good story from last week. I've been wanting to finish it all week.
I've been wanting to hear the end of that story.
I don't know if I mentioned, but this is American Indian Myths and Legends by Richard Erdos and Alfonso Ortiz. The name's kind of weird, but those two stories were completely picked by random and super good, so I feel like this whole book is awesome. So, you might want to get it.
Yeah.
Or just wait for me to go through it over the next 20 years. One day I'll finish them all.
Yeah.
What about you, Christine? You have a subject of some kind. Is it spooky?
It's pretty spooky.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How spooky?
I'm doing the Skinwalkers.
Oh, that is pretty spooky.
Yeah.
Alright, that might be too spooky to start off with. I might have to start off this time.
Just finish your story. I want to know.
No, I'm saving that for last. That is the best.
So rude.
We're gonna start with my other topic first, and then we'll finish after your topic with that hell of a story.
Okay.
My first topic is, as per usual, a suggestion by Rusho, I believe. The Sukoyant, or Sucriant in Dominica, St. Lucian, Trinidadian, Guadalupe, also known as the Lougarou in Haiti, Louisiana, and Grenada. I'm gonna go with Lougarou because that's the funniest way to say it and the easiest. Just because that's the one I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing right, 100%. And then elsewhere in the Caribbean, it could be called Ol Hagen in like Jamaica too, or Asama in Suriname, and in the Bahama, it's just Hag. I could have gone with Hag, but Lougarou's way cooler. So I'm gonna go with Lougarou.
Okay.
And starting off, the Lougarou is a shape-shifting folklore creature. It belongs to a class of spirits called Jumbies. Do you know what a Jumbie is, Christine?
No, but it makes me think of anything that you make for our D&D games.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't... Hey, there are people just like me throughout all of time, and Jumbies are mythological spirits or demons in folklore in like the Caribbean and other places like that. Over in the Southish Island areas, warm places, the Jumbies are. And it's a generic term given to all malevolent entities. And I think we should probably start calling all of our ghosts Jumbies from now on.
This is all the...
I might
have seen a Jumbie the other night.
This week's Jumbie. Such a good word.
Maybe
So, long ago, it's said that certain French families brought the vampire tradition to Trinidad. These European vampires intermingled with their enslaved African counterparts, and out of this, the Lougarou emerged. Lougarou makes a pact with the devil, and as such can assume any form. Her first undertaking is to go to a cemetery and dig up a freshly buried corpse and cut out the liver. From this, an oil is made. When the oil is rubbed all over her body, she can slip out of her skin. She keeps her skin in a mortar or a hollowed out trunk of a tree. Used parched coffee or fermented cocoa beans to keep it in place. This week's monster is an old lady who's become a monster.
Oh.
It's pretty scary, I know. They appear most commonly, especially in the past, as old women by day. But by night, when they rip off their skin, they turn into, can you guess what?
A wolf?
No, a fireball.
A fireball.
A vampiric fireball that soars through the sky.
Like a hitodama?
Probably.
Do you not know what that is?
Nope.
No? The Japanese like
Nope.
the little wisps and things like that.
Oh, yeah, kind of like that, but scary, like a fireball.
Well, I found out that there was different. Like, I'm gonna do a whole episode on just Japanese like spirit fires.
Yeah, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking of like a Hadoken that's red. So like the EX Hadoken.
Mm-hmm.
And by morning, she would drop through the sky and turn into a mist that sent the dogs howling. It's green and glows and enters her old room. Generally, they could be anyone, not just old women. Some people do affirm, though, that it is only old women because only the women would be able to hide the wings. Do you know where they'd hide them?
No, I can't. Like, is it under their long hair, I hope? If it's...
Their tits.
I really didn't want it to be their tits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all I think about is the Oko from Twilight Princess. Or they got weird tit feathers, and you're like, but why?
Yeah. No, the idea is, so they hide their wings on their chest, because girls have boobs, so I could put my wings here.
It's like, literally, my dad's first reaction to the Oko was, why does it have boobs?
Sometimes, if I was a monster who was genderless, I would probably apt to have tits, because they're pretty cool. And if you're a monster, you don't have to worry about all the downsides. Because monsters, I don't think, suffer from downsides humans get as they age and what have you. So you have no pains, no nothing. You just get to look cool and kill people.
I mean,
because
that's what monsters do. I'm just going to say that right now.
Well, that's what I mean. But monsters have unnatural strength, Christine. That's what I was getting at. Like, you think a werewolf would care if it had tits? They're so jacked. They could have 12 before they even affect them. They're werewolves. But we continue with the amazing Lougarou. So, well, the legend is passed down verbally over the centuries, and it's changed through the passage of time. And now it's not exclusively old women. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it might be a dude, scary dude, vampire that turns into a fireball. Some classical things they turn into isn't just a fireball. Sometimes they'll turn into a bat, or maybe a hog, because those are scary. Like I said before, it probably comes from French, and reasoning is that there's a French mythological creature called the Lougarou, which is the type of werewolf that tends to be confused because apparently they pronounce it the same.
Well, that's why I said Garou. Garou is like wolf, right? Like
yeah.
The Lougarou is like werewolf.
Yeah, exactly. So Lougarou, they're both pronounced the same, so they tend to mix them up.
Mm-hmm.
And in Haiti, what is considered a werewolf, Jéroug, or Yeroug, red eyes, it's also similar. There's a lot of similarities between them. The one thing I found is a lot of monsters.
French?
French was Lougarou, and then Haiti is Jéroug. I don't know if that's in Haitian or if they also bother that.
Because Haitian people speak French as well. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
The more you know.
And J's are a thing. It's not like Spanish words.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Because it's like
that's the one thing I'd.
Je means I.
Oh, je t'aime.
Je
t'aime.
Me. Yes.
I only know that from anime. I'm sorry.
I don't know why I say tame.
Je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
All right, the Lougarous have a couple strange little inklings. One being they look for people with dirty hands.
Because they crawl in their hands and feet kind of thing?
Just they look for people with dirty hands.
Oh, that's it?
They can enter your home through any sized hole, crack, crevice, even a keyhole. Whoosh,
well, so they can literally just enter your house, is what you're saying?
Yes, you're fucked. Don't have dirty hands because they'll find you. They suck people's blood from their arms and legs and soft parts, like maybe your belly. While you're sleeping, you wake up with blue or black marks on your body. That's where they got you. But some Lougarous, they don't always suck. Sometimes she'll just pinch you or cuff you. And in the morning, you'll have big black and blue blotches that turn green. After a while, you could feel bad, begin to weaken. You'll become thin and frail. Your eye sockets will sink in your head, and you'll only stare off in the distance, and then you'll die. So, again, Lougarou, as many other monsters, tend to be explanations for,
illness?
It seems, diseases. Yeah. Oh, she's being eaten by a vampire. It's fine.
There's no help for her.
We gotta get the Lougarou. It's also kind of a boogeyman, because some people tell their kids, if you're a good child, you'll be rewarded with spiritual protection from the Lougarou. And if you're bad, you may fall victim. It's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
If you're eaten too much like a vampire, you'll either die or become a Lougarou. Or a third, even scarier option, you'll die and she'll take your skin and assume you.
This is very interesting,
It's
considering that I'm talking about the Skinwalkers.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. That's why when you said that, I was like, oh, how funny. I also have a skin creature. The Lougarou practices black magic. She trades their victims' blood for evil powers from Basil, the demon who resides in the silk cotton tree. Or Basil. I'm going to go with Basil because that sounds scarier. Basil is a demon from folklore of Trinidad and Tobago. He is somewhat comparable to the devil. He's known as a demon of death and was once free roaming until a carpenter, is this Jesus? Succeeded in trapping the evil spirit within a huge silk cotton tree that would become known as the Castle of the Devil in folkloric tales. Although trapped, Basil is still believed to be active and malevolent, with many lesser devils and demons doing his deeds for powers and stuff like the Lougarou. So there's a big bad boss in Haiti. Watch out. Or Trinidad. I actually don't know the islands very well.
Me neither.
I mean, I don't even know the states very well. I think I know 5. So expecting me to know islands is all very hard.
Yeah.
Can you guess how you expose a Lougarou? Remember, she's a vampire, kind of.
So sunlight or silver?
You're a fool. No.
Garlic?
Rice.
Rice?
Sprinkle rice all around the house or the village crossroads. She'll be obligated to pick up every piece of rice, grain by grain.
You know what?
And when she's caught in the act, you can grab her.
There are other monsters that do that.
A lot of monsters are a little OCD,
Yeah.
which is fine, but it really helps finding them. Which actually, now that I think about that, going back in time also means the villagers used to accuse OCD people of being vampires all the time. Huh?
Yep.
It was a bad time back in the day.
Yep.
To destroy her, you take coarse salt or hot pepper and place it in the mortar containing her skin, so she's unable to put the skin back on. When she re-enters the skin, she will perish in a frenzy of unscratchable itching. Her shrieks will reveal her identity to the community. According to some versions of the tale, being caught entails a severe beating. In others, it results in death, often by conflagration? Conflagration? I don't know. In a vat or tar or oil. So I think that means dipped in...
That's terrible.
Or thrown. Yeah, so if they think you're a vampire, they're just going to throw tar and oil on you. So watch out.
That's terrible.
The skin is considered valuable in black magic.
I can see that.
You might want.
Yeah.
Now I have two little funny tales to go with.
Oh, cool. Your top is gonna be way longer than mine. I'm just gonna say that right now.
That's fine. I don't mind. One from Monsieur Didier had this to relate. One night, I was fishing. Suddenly, I saw a globe of fire which appeared far away, at the very extremity of the beach where I was, and which approached me slowly. I remained quiet. The globe of fire passed by a few steps away from me, some meters in the air. In the middle of this globe, I saw the face of a woman, whom I recognized from the neighboring village. It had passed by. I asked my comrades if they had seen anything. They said they had seen the ball of fire in the face of the woman which surrounded it. Scary. I know. Here's a second rung. Old people in Pyramid could tell you about a Sukayant called Desiree, who on a bet flew to London to steal one of Queen Victoria's gold spoons. However, on her way back with the spoon, she caught a Malkadi over Dentma Teteran in the first Bokas, and the spoon fell from her. The large gold spoon to this day lies on that rock in the middle of the first Bokas. That sounds like a tale that you try to tell your friends to go see if they'll go climb a rock to find a spoon, and then you laugh at them.
Yeah.
Which is really great. And then I actually found a really good note by someone explaining the Lougarou in a very general sense. So, this is a note on old witch tales. The old woman of the village is a traditional evil character in folklore of many cultures. Where does it come from? Some people have led this to the conclusion. Women naturally live longer than men in the past. More often than not, a woman lived to great ages, whereas her husband would die young in a war because he got sick or he fell off a cliff digging for gold, something stupid. Old people were more often than not women, not men.
Well, I mean...
Furthermore, in traditional cultures, women did not enjoy the same rights. There are many accounts of widows being outcasts.
Okay, but the reason that they were older is because they didn't have to deal with so much stress. So
Yeah,
they would
that's what I
live
just said.
longer.
Yeah. War and panning for gold, so they'd all die really quick. But the woman got to stay home, so she was... But then they would like, oh, but you're still alive, ew, and they'd push you out of the village because you're all alone.
Mm-hmm.
And becoming outcasts, the people of the village would slowly desire her stuff. So the old, ugly, wrinkled, and lonesome woman would become a burden of the village, another mouth to feed. And because she was a woman, nobody was interested in her personal life or wisdom. She had no protectors, no husband, maybe no kids. So people would start to call her a witch and tell evil stories about her.
Yeah.
And in the end would kill her and share her possessions and land and livestock amongst themselves.
That's so terrible.
Yeah. That's... Back in the old days, life was bad if you were anything.
Other than a
It was
white man.
awful. Yeah, if you weren't sent to the war to die first.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get to be older than 20. I'm glad we're not the old days. It's scary. It was full of monsters. Full of vampires.
Yeah.
Does your story have a vampire?
No.
No? What the hell?
No. Well, skinwalkers are kind of like a Native American werewolves. Which I didn't know.
Aren't they also kind of witches?
Yeah, but they're also seen as hags as well, which is interesting.
Oh.
They're mostly seen throughout southwestern United States, and their, I think its Navajo name is Yenaldoloshi. I don't know. There's a lot of like I'm pretty sure when there's like repeating vowels, you just hold it longer. I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. Which that name translates to those who trot about with wolf skin. They're generally 3 to 5 feet and 7 inches. They have black hair, red eyes, and a nearly featureless face with long arms. Which is like, for me, makes me think of like the Rake, but with a wig.
Yeah. A little bit self-conscious about the whole bald thing.
Yeah. Said to scramble on all fours and has the cry of a baby and wears the skin of coyotes, wolves, and bears and takes on the appearance and powers of those creatures.
So a druid from 5e, but very scary.
Yes, exactly. So there isn't much other information about it, so I have a story from Reddit.
There's so many funny, cool stories about it all over the
there
place.
Was one
yeah.
story I think one of our friends told us. It was like right after D&D, and I think he told us a story of some sort of skinwalker or whatever. Or was it a goat man?
I think
I'm sure.
He gave us an entire Reddit.
Yeah.
Like, with like 100 of them on it.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I did see that there's that, but it's been growing, so I'm like, there's no way I'm going to go through all of this tonight. There's a lot of stories, guys. But,
yeah, skinwalkers are cool. They're scary.
I wanted to find that one because it was actually terrifying. But I'll settle for this one, which is interesting. So this is from Reddit user Neptune420. It starts off... I know, right?
I didn't know Neptune 420 blazed it all day.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Those crazy Greeks.
My father owns a small delivery service that operates out of Farmington. I don't know what NM is in Indian.
What do you mean?
NM? Is that that's the state, isn't it?
I don't think so.
No. Oh, it has,
NM?
because Arizona comes up. So like,
What was the sentence?
Framingham, NM. I don't know what. North Michigan? Is that a thing? I'm not sure if that. I have no idea.
Maybe that's Michigan slang. There's only one Michigan.
Well, let me look it up. U.S.
I feel like it might be like a town or something that he's acronyming on you.
No, I don't think it's a town. I think it's a state. New Mexico. Of course, it's fucking New Mexico.
Oh, fuck, New Mexico. Holy shit. I've never hear New Mexico abbreviated.
Me neither.
That's funny. Everybody loves to just write New Mexico.
Yeah. Okay,
well,
so
alright, my bad.
New
Yeah,
Mexico,
that's New Mexico.
The Arizona comes up, so yeah, whatever. We mostly.
New Mexico's actually, I think, comes up a lot with skinwalkers and stuff.
Yeah, I bet.
Things that, because I've watched a few TV show episodes about them and stuff. I should have thought of that.
We mostly deliver small packages out of the middle of nowhere that are too much of a hassle for the larger delivery companies to bother with. My dad is the only employee, and we have a few pickup trucks and a trailer. One day we get a delivery out to Window Rock, Arizona, on the Navajo reservation, about 2 hours from Farmington. I'm not well today, guys. I'm so sorry if my reading is bad.
Yeah, Christine ate a bunch of ice cream before this, and it's made her really sick. Please, one like and 1 subscribe equals 5 praise.
I don't eat ice cream.
I know, that's why you're so sick.
My dad gets the call for a job while he is chilling with his Navajo friend Travis and his girlfriend. Travis mentions he's got a family in Window Rock and that he hasn't seen them in ages and suggests they go with him. So that's pretty cool. He gets to go see his family. It's pretty nice. I was at 6 or 7 at the time, and it was the summertime, so Dad decides we'll go down together. He can do this delivery really quick. Then, while Travis sees his family, we can go check out Window Rock. It's a big rock face with a large hole. Oh, that's super cool. And then that goes to the other side. Sorry, I thought that was pretty neat.
There's a big rock. Oh my god, like a window!
I was wondering why it was called Window Rock. Neato. We had to convoy in separate trucks since Dad's was loaded down with the freight. We decided to bring along some, I think it means walkie-talkies, but it says talkie-talkies, so we can communicate with one another. We spend our time in Window Rock. Everything is generally uneventful, and we start heading home along the old highway, and my dad and I are in front, and Travis and his girlfriend are in the truck behind us. I honestly don't remember most of the Window Rock trip, but it's next part that I can never forget. Dun, dun, dun. We're somewhere on the highway between Window Rock and Gallup, New Mexico. It had just rained earlier in the day, and the road was kind of slick, so we were taking it pretty slow. On the left of the highway, there is nothing but sandstone cliffs. What's sandstone? Okay, cool. I don't know what a sandstone cliff is, but that sounds pretty cool.
It's a cliff made of sandstone.
I understand I understand. But
yeah?
Yeah. And on the right, there's a huge field separated from the road by a small barbed wire fence. We crest the top of the hill, and down at the bottom of the hill we see what appears to be a large dog sitting back on its haunches in the middle of the road facing the cliff. My dad calls over the radio, "Hey Trav, do you see that big ass dog?" Trav starts yelling back over the radio, "That's not a dog, speed up right now and hit it." Why would you do this? I bet it was a wolf.
Nah.
He sounded almost hysterical. He just keeps screaming, "Hit it. You have to hit it, please, please. Hit the fucking thing right now." So my dad starts to speed up, and we get a bit closer. I can begin to see it a little bit more clearly. It's covered in brown, wiry, matted hair that appears to have dried blood all over it. It is still facing the cliff, but the moment our headlights hit it, it turns and looks at us, and it has a face. Like a human face, I assume. I don't know
yeah.
how else to describe it other than a mix between a bear's and a human's face. It looks twisted, distorted, and almost in pain. As we get closer to it, we start to actually see that it's fucking huge. So it was still sitting on its haunches and about shoulder height to the hood of the truck. So it's pretty big, actually. That's pretty big.
It's huge.
Huge. We get literally inches from hitting it when it lets out a scream that sounds like someone screaming as their lungs are filled with water. What does that mean? What does that sound like? Gurgly, I guess. And it leapt backwards towards the field, landing just on our side of the barbed fence. Then with another leap, it is gone from sight. We're almost done. Travis comes over to the radio. Holy shit, keep driving. We have to get out of here. We have to go faster. He keeps repeating the last part. We have to get out of here and we have to go faster. Pretty soon I think we are speeding like crazy, and just as we start come near the outskirts of Gallup, we get pulled over. Travis pulls his truck over with us. Naturally, this makes the cop, a Navajo man himself, very on edge, and he immediately asks why Travis felt he needed to pull over as well. Travis says, "We just saw a Skinwalker a few miles back, and it's been following us." The officer immediately turns white, stammering something about a verbal warning, gets in the car, and takes off. We do the same. We didn't see anything else that night, but when we got home, Travis refused to let us leave without taking some kind of Navajo totem that was supposed to keep it away. And that's the end of it. That was
pretty spooky.
That was pretty exhilarating. But you remember the story that Austin told us, right? About like the guy and his neighbor?
Nope.
No?
I mean, I remember I read like 5 stories that night, so no.
Okay.
They're all mooks together.
Because that one was like actually terrifying. I can't find it, but it was basically like a neighbor, and the neighbor was not a neighbor. The Skinwalker had taken the neighbor's skin and was pretending to be him, kind of thing. It was pretty spooky.
I forget. Do some Skinwalkers they tend to be? I think they start off as people all the time, and then they go into black magic, just like the Lougarou.
It never mentioned it in my book or on Wikipedia, so I just said
maybe that wasn't to me.
I mean, they could
You did.
like, since it's all kind of native, it could just be like similar ideas.
I listen once I hear the wake word.
Yeah, she did it again. Well, everybody, there's a secret third member to this podcast.
Yeah.
Just remember, she's always there. She's always listening, recording everything. Right there. Like a ghost.
Like a ghost. But yeah, that's the end of my story. I want to hear about this hairy short man that you have.
Do you?
I do.
So last week, we got halfway through the story of a little man with hair all over. Christine, you think you could summarize what happened last week?
What is it? Little man was super cool and everyone loved him. He ended up going on like a hunting trip with some people. They found like a cabin, and they met even smaller people. There was like an even smaller creature, like a dwarf. That had like harassed the group until our man kills it or whatever, throws it down a hole. They go down the hole, and then they keep meeting like the parent and the parent and the parent like thing.
Yeah, he kills a dwarf, he goes in the hole, finds the dad who has 2 heads, kills him, and we stopped when he found the grandfather with 3 heads. At this, the 3-headed monster hurled himself at Little Man. The 3 heads foamed at the lips, snarled and bit. One at a time, said Little Man, as he cut the 3 heads off one after the other. They really made me sweat, said Little Man. Looking around, he discovered yet another door, behind which he heard howling, shuffling, snarling, and growling. This is getting boring, he said as he rolled the rock aside and met a horny-skinned, four-headed man monster. This one asked no questions, immediately jumped at Little Man with 4 sets of teeth, biting, snapping, and tearing. Their monster skin was so tough, especially at the neck, that it resisted the magic knife. Even when Little Man had finally cut off 3 of the 4 heads, the man monster fought as fiercely as ever. The 4th head was the toughest. It bit a good-sized piece out of Little Man's shoulder before he managed to cut it off. Panting and exhausted, Little Man with hair all over kicked the giant body of the monster, said, "There, you wicked little thing." Again, he looked around and saw a door. "Not again," he said. But he listened, and behind it, he heard the sweet song of young girls.
Yeah.
"This is much better," said Little Man with hair all over, as he rolled the rock aside.
Jesus.
He stepped into the last chamber and found 3 pretty women. "Are the monsters out there relatives of yours?" asked Little Man. "No," they said. "Those horrible monsters kidnapped us. They've been keeping us prisoner for their own pleasure.
Ugh.
We've been having a hard life." I believe it," he said. "Handsome young warrior," said one of the girls. "Surely you've come to free us." Little Man responds, "I don't know about handsome, but free you I will." "You are handsome," said the bold girl. "I like little hairy lusty fellows."
I hate this story now.
"Wait," he goes, "you met the right man then." He looked around and saw wonderful things that the monsters had taken from their victims. Buckskin robes, decorated with multicolored porcupine quills, well-made weapons, war bonnets of eagle feathers, and much more. "Enough here for 3 friends to divide," said Little Man. "Oh, geez, you'll hate this. And isn't it lucky there are 3 of you, too? For I have 2 friends up above." "Better and better," said the 3 good-looking girls.
That's written by a man.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Little Man gathered up the many fine things in a bundle and walked to the hole underneath the lodge. "Ho, friends!" he hollered. "Here are some good things for us to divide." He placed the bundle in the kettle, and the 2 brothers in the lodge pulled it up. They called down, "What about you?" "Not yet," he answered. "First, pull up these 3 pretty women." The brothers they lowered the kettle, and one by one drew up the women. Then Little Man called out, "I'm coming up now." He climbed in the kettle, and when they pulled him halfway up, Broken War Club said to Smoky Mountain, "Let's drop him. Then we can keep the pretty girls and all the stuff for us." "No," said Smoky Mountain. "Little Man has been a good friend." But Broken War Club had already cut the rope, and Little Man fell all the way down with a big clatter. He was stunned, but recovered quickly, saying, "Some friends I chose." Without the rope and kettle, Little Man with hair all over had a hard time climbing up to the lodge. He tried 4 times before he finally did it. "Now I'll find those good-for-nothing brothers," he said. Traveling along what he believed to be the trail of Smoky Mountain and Broken War Club, Little Man heard some people quarreling. He followed the sound and came upon the body of a big elk, over which a wasp, a worm, and a woodpecker were squabbling. "My friends," Little Man with hair all over told them, "there's enough here for all. Let me settle this for you, and stop all the fuss." He gave the bones to the woodpecker, the fat to the wasp, and the meat to the worm, and everyone was satisfied. "Thank you, Uncle, for settling this matter and making peace between us," they said. "In return, if you ever find yourself in trouble, you can assume any of our shapes." That's weird. "Thanks," he said. "I appreciate it." Little Man left. Following the trail, he came at last to a lodge standing in a clearing of the forest. At once he turned himself into a woodpecker, flew up to a pole above the smoke hole, and looked down. "Ah," he said to himself, "here are the 2 good-for-nothing brothers talking to the girls." Then he turned himself into a wasp and flew in the lodge. He turned himself into a wasp and landed on the shoulder of the bold girl. Nobody noticed him. The bold girl said, "I'm still angry with you, men. It was very mean to drop that nice little fellow. He was brave, and I was fond of him. I hope he's well wherever he is. Smoky Mounted added, yes, it wasn't right. I tried to stop it, but this one here had already cut the rope. Broken War Club just laughed. Ha ha ha. Brother, don't talk like a fool. It was so funny dropping that hairy, useless man down there and listening to him squeal. Look at all the riches I got for us, and look at these pretty girls. Thanks to me, make our nights pleasant. Yes, I still have to laugh when I think of the hairy one clattering down, squealing. I don't remember having squealed, said Little Man, over quickly turning himself back into a man. Let's see who'll squeal now. Broken War Club tried to run away, but Little Man seized him by the hair and cut his throat with the magic knife.
Oh, okay. I don't know if he needed to kill him, that's the thing.
He kicked Smoky Mountain in the backside. Coward! You could have defied your younger brother and got me out of the hole. If you ever cross my path again, I will kill you, the way I killed him. Smoky Mountain slunk away. The little man turned to the women. Good-looking girls. Will you take me for a husband? I'm man enough for 3.
Yeah.
I'm small, but not everywhere. Jeez, Little Man went nuts at the end of this, huh?
What the heck?
Handsome one, said the bold girl. Since we 3 are sisters, it's only fitting for us to have one husband. Okay. What?
This was most definitely written by
I didn't
a
know
guy.
this was Sister Wives.
Yeah.
This is the prequel to Sister Wives, the American TV show? This is nuts.
This is upsetting.
So, Little Man, with hair all over, married the girls, and they were all very happy. After Little Man had lived with them for a while, he said, My dears, I'm not made to stay always in one place. Now and then, I just have to roam and discover things. I've left enough meat, pemmican tongues, and back fat to last good for many days. I won't be along for long, so don't be afraid. Thus, Little Man went traveling again. He came to a lodge, inside which a pretty young woman was crying. He went in and asked, Good-looking one, what's the matter? A slimy water monster is keeping me prisoner, and I hate his embraces. He's very sticky. I've tried and tried to run away, but he always catches me and brings me back. Dry your tears, said Little Man. I'll kill this monster and marry you. I already have 3 wives. I can easily take care of one more.
What the hell? This guy's greedy.
It's getting weird. I'd like that, said the woman, but no one can kill him. I can kill any monster with my magic knife. I am forever rescuing pretty maidens imprisoned by evil monsters. I'm used to it. You can't kill this one, even with a magic knife, because he's many monsters in one. There's a secret way to kill him, and if you don't happen to know it, he'll kill you. What's the secret? I don't know. I've never had a chance to ask, but tonight the monster comes back, and I'll try to get it out of him. Hide yourself in the meantime. That's easy, said Little Man, turning into a woodpecker and flying to the top pole above the smoke hole. At nightfall, the water monster returned. Looking down from his perch, the Little Man thought, This is indeed an ugly, slimy monster. The creature threw some meat to the girl, saying, I just drowned and ate some humans, so I'm full. But here's some antelope for you. Just what I like, said the girl. You know that horn coming out of your forehead is dirty. Let me clean it for you. It's really handsome. You're pleasant today for a change, said the monster. Instead of scowling and sour-faced. Perhaps you're beginning to appreciate me. How could anyone not appreciate you, said the girl. Tell me, so that in case of trouble I can help you. What's the only way to kill you? The monster grinned horribly and said, Well, here I am, the great water monster. If you kill me, a huge grizzly bear will come out of me. And out of him, a smaller brown bear. And out of him, a panther. And out of the panther, a wolf. And out of the wolf, a wolverine. And out of the wolverine, a fox. And out of the fox, a rabbit. Out of the rabbit will come a quail. And out of the quail, an egg. Only by dashing this egg against the horn in my forehead can I be killed. So, apparently he's a Matryoshka doll.
Yeah.
Little Man heard that. He flew down,
Sounds so
resumed his shapes,
tedious.
attacked the water monster with his magic knife. One after the other, he killed all the animals. And he grabbed the egg, threw it against the horn. Sugoi, she said. You're so brave and powerful, I'm yours. So Little Man with hair all over took her as his 4th wife and carried her home to his lodge. Together, with all the treasures which the monsters had amassed through robbing and murder, and little man had been right. He was enough for 4 wives, with a little left over.
It just
that took an unexpected turn, didn't it, friends and fellows?
Bit more gentlemanly, but it turned out not.
Well, he was gentlemanly. The story, not so much.
No, I think going from one person to the other is not freedom.
Hey, like I said, he was nice. He didn't make them marry him. That was their choice. We gotta give it up to some of our poly friends out there. It seemed to work fine for them. I don't know. But no, I agree it was written by someone who... It seems like that their fantasy was to be very hairy and have many wives.
Yeah.
I'll contest to that.
Yay.
Man, I would never have guessed it would end like this. And
I
this
wasn't expecting another story out of it either.
I wasn't expecting him to fight monsters and then, go fight a different one. Man, twists and turns, joys and betrayal, laughter and love. This story had it all.
I think one person loved him.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. We only got to really hear the side of the bold woman. She was into it.
Yeah.
She kind of decided for her sisters, it seemed.
Yeah, that sounds...
We never got their take.
Nope.
The other lady seemed okay, too. She's like, at least you're not squishy.
Gross.
What a strange time it was to be during the time of monsters. Glad we're past that time.
Yeah. I can choose who I love and if I want to be with them.
Yeah, you don't just have to choose the first person to save you from a 3-headed grandpa.
Yeah.
That's what it was back in the day. My knight in hairy armor, you would say.
Ugh.
Can you take me and my sister? Wow. Man, please, like, comment, and subscribe if you did not see that twist coming. Because for fuck's sake, I
didn't either.
I just thought he was going to fight, like, an infinity amount of headed people until he died. That was my guess.
I was thinking it was going to end with him getting stuck in the hole. Because he just killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, like that. He was just going to keep going until he found, like, hell. And then he had more heads or something weird. But no.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking,
And
like,
there
he'd save
wasn't much
the
of-
women and stuff like that. And then, like, when he gets betrayed, it's just like...
Oh, when they got betrayed?
Oh, well, yeah. Because you still did a bad. You still just killed people.
Well, see, that's the thing. I didn't think he was going to get stuck, because little man, we already knew, was buff as shit.
Right, yeah.
Like, he has no time to be stuck in a hole. He climbed out. And I also didn't expect him randomly to get powers.
Yeah. He turned into,
Just walking down the
Maui.
Back in the day, you just walk down the path and you get to turn into a woodpecker. What the hell? Just remember, kids, if you ever find a woodpecker, a wasp, and a worm, settle their dispute.
Mm-hmm.
Or, better yet, leave a comment about if you have a cool subject to talk upon, if you want to hear more strange stories in this book. Maybe you want to hear about a story in my Russian fairy tale book. That one I haven't even touched yet.
I just got a
Or
couple
you
new
could-
books as well, so if you suggest something, I will try to look it up with my new books.
Christine didn't just get books. She got books and then made her dad buy more
I didn't make
books.
my dad. My dad bought me a book because I suggested it, and then it arrived at his house, and then he started reading my book, and it was like, wow, this is great. And then he bought himself the book, and then he bought me the second volume and himself the second volume. So we got matching books.
Oh man, you guys have matching books. That's really funny.
I don't know. My dad
Nice.
really likes mythology. He's super into that.
Yeah, mythology's pretty sweet.
Obviously, because it's what we're talking about mostly. God,
fun.
I'm hitting with the
It's fun.
sleepiness. It's only like 2, almost 3, but I just haven't eaten yet. I'm so tired.
Hey, it's just about time to eat, so don't worry about it. And with that, we thank you for listening.
Mm-hmm.
If you enjoyed it, tell a friend or an enemy.
I was thinking, in the future, I would like to hear your ghost stories. Your personal ghost stories.
Oh, God almighty, don't you dare.
I would...
Then I'll actually be scared.
No,
What the
tell
hell?
me
Christine cursed us.
No.
But you're gonna tell me then. God damn it. Alright, if you guys want to ruin my day, tell Christine about the time you were abducted by aliens.
Yes.
Something
I
awful.
want to hear these stories of ghosts and ghouls, and we'll share them. If you're free to share them, if you want to share them, whatever, just let me know ahead of time. Send me a message.
Send an email at
my
occultclass@gmail.com.
That's not an actual email yet.
It might be now.
Are you gonna make it?
You'll find out next week. Find out next week if I made that email.
Oh dear Lord.
Ta-ta for now.
Ta-ta for now. TTFN.